Coach Sewell, how's it going?
Doing great. It's great to be back in North Carolina. Great to see Joe Williamson.
Hey, I appreciate that. Super 32. Describe it to somebody that might not know.
It's a buzzsaw. It's the buzzsaw of buzzsaws. So you don't really get any fishes flopping around here. It's every round is about a fist fight. So that's the nice little synopsis.
Nice. Talk about your experience so far. You had 3 kids wrestling. Two of them are out of the tournament now. What are their takeaways?
Just staying composed through the tournament. I thought was through their 3 matches. They didn't get too high, didn't get too low. They're learning how to stay composed through some of these, especially if you take an L that really shouldn't have taken. Wasn't really a quality loss. So staying composed through a non-quality loss was impressive, so I was happy with that.
What do you think? Is there a benefit though? You get guys that medal at this tournament. They're like they're ready for the next level. What kind of benefit is there for a younger wrestler just to see those guys and understand what they're capable of?
That's a great question. Especially for the kids that we brought here, these are third-year wrestlers. They're going into their third year. And it's a nice, kind of just tells us where we're at. I think it gives us a bit of an edge, especially when we go back to Virginia. And, they've, during the postseason, it's great to say, you've already been on a bigger stage in the state tournament. It makes the state tournament look like a Pee-wee tournament.
Yeah.
So the mental edge there is huge. Being able to, the nerves piece. You wrestle here, have some good battles here, win some good positions here, win some rounds here, win some matches here, have some little victories coming out of here. Use that momentum going into the season for our third-year kids. We take it in stride, and again, try not to get too high, try not to get too low, and just kind of stay steady and consistent.
It's an interesting spot, this tournament, because it is arguably the toughest tournament in the country, but you're just now going, preseason practice hasn't started at school, right? So,
yeah, at school, yeah.
Typically, what are you doing, when the season starts? What's the other, 90% of the kids doing that aren't like peaking for this event? What do you do when you start the season?
For the kids that aren't here?
I guess I kind of muttered that question out a little bit.
No, that's all right.
When you're going into the season, what are you getting going on versus guys that are they're peaking for this event maybe?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I would love to ask that question to Scott Green at Wyoming Sim. That would be
he knows the thing.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to put that question in my back pocket and fire it off at him. But for shooting from the hip here, first of all, I'm a young gun here. I'm just soaking it all up, being a sponge. But it is going to be interesting for especially our football players coming back out. Whereas we've got some kids that have been putting in 4 or 5 days a week, and are the training schedule structured so they are peaking for here, whether or not they're wrestling here or not. Mm-hmm. It is it's probably take next week off, relax. I'm going to say take it off entirely, but take it down a notch and kind of refocus our thoughts. I don't know, using the momentum for what we got here. But that's a great question from a training cycle standpoint.
When's the actual practice start at the high school?
In Virginia, we're starting November 5th.
November 5th. So right around the corner.
Right around the corner. We got about 7 days from Monday.
What percentage of your guys are wrestled through the summer and getting ready for an event like this, and what are hey, I wrestle for 4 months of the year? Is that a thing anymore?
It is, and it's a very interesting balance that as a young program, we understand that if we want to get to a level where we're competing for a state title in Virginia and becoming a power in the Mid-Atlantic, and that's what the vision is. We're not just doing this to go through the motions. We're trying to set something up here with some longevity and to eventually be a power. We're focused on that process, not so much the outcome. But in order to do that, we got to have kids wrestling at least 11 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. fortunately for your lower weights and upper weights, right, they can sometimes get away with it, with not, doing their 11 months like the football players and whatnot, but which is fine. Two of our best wrestlers are football players, and we rally behind them, and they love it, and we love it, but if a kid wants to be the best wrestler they can be, right? I mean, they got to put in that 11 months. So it's the toughest part about it is kind of seeing when that intrinsic motivation comes about and clicks. And whenever that intrinsic motivation comes about and that passion and love for wrestling that's contagious starts to spread, that's when we've seen our numbers. We've about 12 kids who wrestle about 11 months out of the year. So it's a solid number right now. Not all 12 are competing nationally, but they're putting in that work.
So speaking of, the younger Mike Krause is coming out to visit you guys in November. I think he's one of the best youth coaches, and especially getting guys from 0 to 50%. He's coached at all levels.
Oh yeah,
but great with kids. Why do you decide to have him come out?
I'll quote you here, Joe. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. Mike is just an incredible person. I mean, he's an incredible coach. He's an incredible person. I tell you, my first year at it, I saw his videos and I messaged him on Facebook, and he just texted me back and said, "Hey, call me anytime. Here's my cell phone number." He spent 45 minutes on the phone with me. He didn't know me from Adam, and I just had a ton of questions for him, and he was supporting me and looking out for our sport, looking out for the coaches that on the come up but no, I mean, I think it's gonna be great for our youth coaches to see, and I love Krause's philosophy. It's let the workers work. Let the workers work. I mean, he gets those kids to the point where they're drilling, and it's inspiring, it's encouraging, it gets me fired up. I think just watching a Mike Krause video gets you fired up.
Right.
Gives you some good, good solid, wisdom nuggets there, and soak them up, and it's all practical. It's not like this crazy theoretical, hypothetical kind of stuff. It's very practical. It's gritty. It's good, and it seems pretty versatile too. It seems like a lot of youth coaches, that can take a lot of what he's doing and implement it in their own way with their own personality and their own coaching style. So Mike's amazing, man. I got so much respect for that guy, and our kids are going to be very lucky to have him.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you out there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, it's been good catching up with you. You got anything else to share with us?
Oh, man, just appreciate everything you're doing for the sport, man. It's amazing. And the grassroots concept rings home, man. We need more of that, and we need it's critical to growing it and doing it the right way. And so I appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.